Today on the Dietary Restriction Kitchen, we're going to make a classic Indian-inspired soup, and that is Mulligatawny. Delicious, creamy, and a little bit spicy, and great with some lime wedges. A little bit different take on a classic chicken soup, and so it's really great and smells wonderful. So let's get started on that. Hi there, welcome to the Dietary Restriction Kitchen. I'm Nat Ryan. Today in the kitchen we're going to make a classic Indian-inspired soup, and that is Mulligatawny soup. The good news is that Mulligatawny soup is traditionally dairy-free, and we're going to make it that way. We're going to make it with chicken in it, but if you're vegan or vegetarian, it's very easy to adapt the recipe to make it in a style that has no meat products at all. So we'll go over those as we go along. We'll go over those alternatives as well. And so it's really delicious. It's a different way to do chicken soup. And so let's get started on that right now. Okay, so let's start by going over our ingredients. First thing we're going to need is either some olive oil or some coconut oil. I'm probably going to use coconut oil today, but either one is good. So we're going to use that. We are going to need some chopped celery, carrot, and onion. I've already got onion chopped here. And we're going to need to peel out and core and chop up an apple quite small. So we're going to do that. I've already got some carrot and celery chopped up as well. We're going to need some chicken broth. Okay, so either that way or homemade chicken broth. It's frozen. I'm going to have to thaw it out, but in the microwave is great for that. I don't have enough chicken broth to make this soup. I would need 6 cups. This is only 3 cups, about 3 cups. So we're going to need to use a little bit of both that. You can do that now. Alternatively, if you want to have it as a vegan or vegetarian soup, don't use chicken broth, right? Obviously, you'd use a vegetable broth and make sure it's a vegan variety, that it's 100% vegan if you are vegan. So that's great. We're going to need some red lentils, and let me just pop the top off so you can see them better here. But that's what they look like. They're sort of orangey, sort of that. When they cook down though, they go kind of more yellow, like a pale yellow. So we'll do that. They're very tiny, so they're not, and I suggest using the red. Don't use another kind of lentil, because the other lentils they take longer to cook and they're bigger, and you're going to see that. Where this is just going to cream in the soup really nicely, you're not going to see bits of lentils. So we're going to use red lentils. And for our purposes, of course, we're going to have chicken. So I've got cooked chicken already and cut up or diced up, so we're going to need that. If you are vegan or vegetarian, obviously you won't use chicken. You can add some you can use chickpeas instead. So canned chickpeas, just drain them or rinse them, so you can use that. Or let's say if you don't have that much chicken left over, right? Like you could use leftover chicken. What if you only have about half that or whatever? You could use a combination of chicken and chickpeas, okay? So either chicken or chickpeas or chicken and chickpeas. Okay, so that we're going to need a bit of, probably about a half of this can of some coconut milk. I'm using light coconut milk. And we're going to need some salt, a little bit of salt. We're going to need a little bit of turmeric. That is a very yellowy spice. Okay, it's not really hot. It doesn't give a lot of spicy heat, but it does give a warmth. It's very good, and it gives that yellowy color, as you can see from the inside of my cover here. It's very yellowy. And we're going to need a garam masala spice blend, so it looks kind of like that. Okay, it is an Indian spice blend that's considered more of a sweet spice blend. Alternatively, if you love curry, you could just use curry powder. Okay, so, and that will give more heat. And if you want, you can also add a little pinch of cayenne pepper. I'm not going to do that. And maybe a little parsley for garnish at the end. And so now we're going to get started actually doing our stuff and getting it together in the pot. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is, in a big soup pot or Dutch oven, we're going to heat up our either olive oil or coconut oil in the pan or in the pot here. on about medium. I've started on high and then gone down to about medium high. So we get that, it's all done. I take my already chopped up carrots and celery. So I've got that. Add that to it. I've got some chopped up already onions in here. Whoops, whoopsie daisy. So I've got a big spoon. Okay, I'm going to try to stay out of the shot this time. Last time when I was making, here, I want that up a little bit. Let's get this rolling a little bit more. Okay, so we're going to add the chopped up onion in there. And we are going to add, I'm going to get that a stir and stir around. Now those onions were already pre-chopped and put in the the fridge freezer, or sometimes you can put it in the deep freezer as well. I find it's a great way, like if you buy a bag of onions and the onions were, let's say, you better use these onions up. They're not bad, but we got to kind of use them before they do go bad. Chop a bunch of them up, and then you can put it in freezer bags or even just little sandwich bags like that. Freeze them. And then, you know, if you're using it for cooked onions, then it'll work fine. If you want to use raw onions, it's not going to really work because when you thaw out the onion, they're kind of a little bit soft already. So I wouldn't use it for that, but I never eat raw onion because I find it very hard on me, so I don't eat raw onion. But, okay, so that's starting to roll along. We're going to turn it down slightly, and then we're going to add our chopped up apple. Okay, so I just did that this morning because I didn't do it ahead because I didn't want the apple to be too browned, you know, have gone browned or anything. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to saute this for 7 to 8 minutes just to start getting those vegetables a little bit soft. So we're going to turn off the camera and we'll come back after about 7 or 8 minutes and we will continue on. All right then. Okay, so as you can see, it's kind of cooking down a little bit. It's softening up. So now we're going to add our broth. So my 3 cups of homemade broth are going to go in. Okay, so we get that. Okay, so that quiets that down nicely. And then we have 3 more cups of just the store-bought broth, okay? Now, like I say, if you want this to be vegetarian or vegan, then use vegetable broth, obviously, right? Okay, because so far, besides the broth, there isn't anything in there that is, you know, yeah, exactly, there's no meat. So it's very easy to substitute off of that. And then the next thing we're going to do, got to add our spice button. I should have done that beforehand, but that's okay. So that's got our garam masala, our turmeric, and a bit of salt. We're just going to get that whipped in there. I mean, I could have put it in with the vegetables, and I should have, but that's okay. Right at the end of the vegetable cooking, but that's all right. So it's not drastic, you know. So what's nice about soup is it's not going to be drastic. Okay, so we're going to turn that up because we want that to go up, and then we're going to get the lentils in there. So I have kind of drained them, or rinsed and drained them. They kind of clump together, so I'm going to just like use a spoon to kind of break you back up again. I don't know why it does that. Just hit that, moisture hits it, and then that's it. Okay, there we go. So we'll get the lentils in there, and then we'll give that a stir. We got to get that on the boil. We're going to bring it up to the boil, and then we're going to turn it down and simmer it, okay, for 15 minutes or so. So what we're going to do, I'm going to give that, put it on the boil. It isn't boiling yet, but I'm going to put it on the boil, turn it right down to probably about 3, so kind of medium low, and then let it simmer for about 15 minutes. And we'll come back after that 15 minutes is up, and we'll keep going. All right, so I've just had a look here. It isn't even 15 minutes yet. We're down to maybe 10. So as you can see, the lentils start to break down like that. That is fine. What we're going to do is carry on now. So I just suggest keeping an eye on it. It may be more like 10 minutes rather than 15 minutes. But as you can see, those lentils are going to really thicken that up, because you can see now it's becoming really much thicker right in the soup. Okay, so at this point, You can leave it chunky and have your things like that, and I that's what I'm going to do today. If you want, you can always take an immersion blender, you know, one of those ones that you put in and just kind of, and you can make that smooth at this point if you want, all uniform and smooth. Alternative to that, you could take out in batches into a blender or food processor and blend it, like puree it. You can do it with some of it or all of it or none of it. I'm going to do none of it because I want to have it as a chunky soup. So at this point, we are going to add our coconut milk. So that's the whole can, okay? So that's just under 2 cups. I'm going to go down to, okay, about 3/4 of a cup. And so that would give me, put a cup in there and see how we do. And I'm going to keep it because I may want more. Okay, yeah, I think I do want more. I can, you know, yeah, so that's why on my recipe, which you can find on the Dietary Restriction Kitchen website, there will be a link in the description. Here we're going to put the whole thing. I'm going to put the whole can in. So 1 to 2 cups of coconut milk, we're going to put that in there. Okay, as you can see now it's that way. I've still got some chicken broth handy, and the reason why is because just in case it's a little too thick, you can always thin it with a little bit more chicken broth. And then we're going to add our chicken, or if you want it as a vegan style, your chickpeas, or both if you want to have both in there. So we're going to put our chicken pieces, previously cooked chicken. This was sort of barbecue chicken breast that I made. So there we go. We have to put that in, and we're going to let that heat through. And all we need again, and I forgot something when I was listing the ingredients. I forgot limes. So we need some lime juice and some lime wedges. Here, I'll show you, like I cut some now. So lime wedges for serving with it. So we're going to put a little bit of lime juice in there. So about a tablespoon of lime juice goes in there as well. It's that beautiful yellowy color. Well, that's your turmeric in action. Well, if you did not put the turmeric in, just the garam masala or curry powder. Well, if you put curry powder, you're still going to get like a bit of a yellowy color. If you don't put the extra turmeric in, you won't get that extra yellowy color, but it's going to be sort of, is it yellow or not? This is definitely tells you it's yellow, right? So that's why I'm doing it, and we're just going to heat that through, and we're going to give that a try, because basically she's done. Okay, and we're going to give it a little taste too as well, see if we need to add anything else. Let's do that now. Let's see. Nope, doesn't need a thing. I mean, you might want to add a little pepper, you know, when you're serving out. Actually, I'm going to add a little pepper right now. Let me just get around this side, grab my pepper out of the cupboard, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of black pepper action. The recipe I found, you can also add a pinch of cayenne in there if you want a little bit heat. If you are using curry powder rather than garam masala, you will have some heat from that, so please taste it before you add anything else. And I know there's some people out there that love things hot, so oh, that's good. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're going to try this out. Okay then, so let's give this a try. I got my bowl here. I'm going to step back so you can see me properly. And let's give this a little bit of a try. Snag a piece of chicken first off. That's good. The carrots are just nice and tender now. They're not mushy, but they're just tender. The other vegetables in there, really nice. A piece of apple. You don't really taste it like apple. The apple just absorbs the other flavors, you know what I mean? So it's not like, oh, I got this zing of apple, but no, it's good. As you can see, and you could cream it. Like I say, you could cream the soup before adding the chicken, and you know what I mean, like puree it, I should say, before adding the chicken and the coconut milk. And like I say, you could make this with chicken, or you could make it with chickpeas instead to make it like a vegan vegetarian type of thing, or you could have a little bit of both. So it's it's like a chicken soup that's different. It's warming. It's different than chicken and rice. It's different than chicken noodle. And it's just like having chicken soup in a different way, but boy, is it good. And you can make it as hot and spicy as you want, or you can just have it more of a comforting warmth. This is kind of more the way I've done it today, with the garam masala and some turmeric to give that warmth. Turmeric won't add like heat, like spicy heat, but it will add a warmth to it. And that's what I've done. So you can make it as spicy as you like, as mild as you like. It's wonderful though. And you can give it another little zing of lime juice as well. So, absolutely. Great with some crusty bread, or, well, if you're gluten-free, you have to be careful of that. If you can get some gluten-free naan, that'd be good. Really lovely. Oh, yeah, that's nice. That'd be nice soup to have on a rainy day. Oh my goodness. A cloudy, rainy, drizzly day or something. My goodness, it's good. My goodness, I can't stop eating it. It's that good. So, thanks for stopping by today at the Dietary Restriction Kitchen. Really appreciate you being here, sticking it out with me, and we'll see you next time. Have fun cooking out there, guys. Bye for now.